Just when you think we're done covering Mark Hamill, just when you think he's left Star Wars, he's riding to the sunset, and there's not a single thing left for the man to do, he comes out and drops a whopper this time, saying he's not gonna, he will not leave the United States of America because of Trump. And voices in his head? What the heck? Hello, folks. It is yet another video of excellence on the way from the Pro Channel. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do. Explaining entertainment is our forte. And today we're on the way. Welcome to the Choo Choo Express, driving into the locomotion station that is the mind of Mark Hamill. Yes, he's the Joker. Yes, he's Luke Skywalker. And yes, he's gone full cray-cray. Today we're going to look at that and explain why Mark Hamill is just volunteering to the world. Hey, I'm hearing voices in my head about Donald Trump. Yeah, it's that strange. Click the like button, folks. We'll explain. And I dare say this could have ramifications on whether or not this guy is appearing in anything, Star Wars or not, in the coming future. All right, folks, psychologists may be needed for Mark Hamill because he's on a tear again. This is breaking, and it's from Marvin Montanaro out of thatparkplace.com, the website that if you're not yet bookmarked, well, you should be. Mark Hamill refused to let Trump force him out of America. You get it? Yet Trump has never mentioned him. Mark Hamill is back at it again. I don't know how many more times the man can make the news, having the blues over the election. I mean, we are now, 11 months into this thing? He is still going on. In the most amusing
it's not just him, though.
No, it's not just him. Well, he's trying to be rosy. In the most amusing Mark Hamill moment since he lost his pants on stage at an award show, the Star Wars actor has revealed he didn't follow through on his promise to flee the United States. Now, why did he not flee the United States as he promised to do if President Trump won? Well, Hollywood veteran Mark Hamill has never been shy about politics, especially when it comes to Trump. In an interview with the Times of London, Hamill revealed that Trump's 2024 reelection rattled him to the point of imaginary battles with the president in his head. Hamill admits that he seriously considered leaving the United States altogether, narrowing down his options to either London or Ireland. Go, Rosie, go. The plan even reached the point where he gave his wife, Marilu York, the final say on where they would go. Please read this in the voice of the Joker for me, Marvin.
I said to my wife, okay, it's either London or Ireland. You pick. And then a week later, she said, I'm surprised that you would allow him to force you out of your own country. My inner voice said, that son of a bat. I'm not leaving.
Where's Joker? I'm here to punch him.
So Mark Hamill literally is now saying that he and his wife had an imaginary battle between he and Trump, and that he decided he would not leave the country because he's not being forced out. Despite the fact that Mark Hamill said if he's reelected, I'll leave, he decided not to afterwards. He set up the condition upon which he would leave, and then rethought it later on, and then somehow became the victor of a mental battle. These people are so crazy. I mean, this is just, there was never a time, guys, when there's never been a time when a president has won an election, and I thought, well, I got to get out of here. I got to leave the country. That has never happened to me. There's never been a time, I don't care who the president has been, I've never thought that. But every single election, the celebrities promise it, and other than Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell, and who wants to be in that club, eh? Other than those two, they never follow through on the promise. Jonas, I think Mark Hamill is just desperate for attention, and I think that President Trump lives in his head rent-free.
I think you're absolutely correct. Basing your entire personality off of a singular person that is not you is a dangerous thing for any person out there in the world. Even if he wasn't Luke Skywalker here, this is the kind of thing that would start to get him attention, because it's such a negative thing to lease out your own mental state to someone who you have nothing to do with. I don't think his life has been personally affected in any way. He's like those little cars speeding by in the background on Coruscant, that somewhere on some other planet there's a war going on that may be fought by clones, it may be fought by robots, but that guy's still going to work.
Of all the voices in my head, it's the orange man that I despise the most.
Well, okay, so that's
Coming to get you.
that is something.
I was waiting in the corner in the darkness, just waiting for Joker to show up again.
He's my arch nemesis, despite the fact that he's never publicly said my name.
If
I
Ron
told
can
you
do
to quit using big words like that. I don't know what SMS whatever that word is, stop using it.
It was one of the Star Trek movies.
next, you know, Ron will be
was.
doing
It
a
was
Luke
the worst
Skywalker impression. Hey, I'll tell you this though, guys. I'll tell you this. The funny thing to me is that Mark Hamill has gone so far into this now that he had this legacy that everybody was going to look back and say he was, oh my gosh, what a career. He was Luke Skywalker. What a career. He was the Joker for like decades for the animated stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Bat Tom. And instead of having those as his legacies, now people are going to remember this guy as the guy who went nuts, the avatar itself for TDS. And he can't stop. Like he just, this is news that he's making on his own, in other words. Like nobody said, hey, Mark, why did you not leave? He is now bringing this up on his own, and he's having mental battles in his head with a cartoon orange man. He's gone nuts.
So you know how everybody's making
Summer Hamill on screen here.
You know how everybody's making those new AI videos, like they're really, really good, of Luke Skywalker meeting Qui-Gon Jinn in the past, and those. Somebody needs to make an AI video where current Mark Hamill is confronting President Trump, and Trump says, you know, Luke, no one ever told you what happened to your father. No, I am your father.
Well, see, I think
that would be great. I would love to have.
Here's the problem with Mark Hamill today. If it was Trump instead of the Emperor inside, you know, in Return of the Jedi, he would strike him down with like it would turn into this crazy, you know, lose your mind, slash and bash with a lightsaber. He's gone so far. He doesn't resemble anything heroic when he does this kind of stuff, and he thinks he is. Like when he says, "I'm not going to let him run me out of the country," it's like, dude, you're so delusional. Marvin, your article points out so brilliantly, and I hope people will go read it on thatparkplace.com. Your article points out Trump doesn't even know this guy exists.
Never. He's never. I researched this a lot. I could not find a single instance where Donald Trump referenced Mark Hamill by name ever.
I watched Star Wars once. Didn't think it was that great. Had this whiny kid in it. All he's doing is whining through the whole movie. And I thought, that Darth Vader guy, he's got class. But other than that, you know.
Cut off his son's hand. Cut off his son's hand, something I've thought about doing before. Not gonna lie.
Not gonna lie. Oh my, oh my. Jonas.
Like you touch my Big Mac again, you're going to come back one hand less.
Jonas, walk us
You'll
through.
Be known as Han Solo.
Jonas, walk us through just what has this done to the legacy of Mark Hamill? When we talk about him now, we don't think about the things he did in the past. We kind of just shake our heads because he's went so crazy. People can have their politics. That's fine. Everybody in Hollywood has a political belief.
Right.
We don't talk about 99.98% of them. But Mark Hamill comes up over and over again. It's what he's going to be remembered for. What's going on with him?
Right. Well, on his gravestone, it'll say Luke Skywalker actor. Or sorry, on his obituary.
No, it'll say, defender against Trump. That'll be the thing. He doesn't even care about the Luke Skywalker thing anymore.
Former defender of the galaxy.
Yeah.
You know what I think? Makes this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, this is the thing. There's been ups and downs, and every actor has ups and downs in their career. And I think he was a good actor, but that Luke Skywalker role overshadowed so much about his career that's the first thing people see when he comes on screen. He had talented performances as the trickster, which then became the Joker. And it was almost like you had to not have his face on screen in order for him to have voiceover success before he over here. There was actually a period in the 90s where I don't know if he was politely saying no to work or what, but he was showing up every day to watch the OJ trial live at some point because he was not active in Hollywood in the way that a traditional actor might try to be.
Look, I've had this before. Like I remember when he went to the White House with Biden, and I'm like, so you sacrificed Star Wars for this? Because let's be real, like what I meant by that is Mark Hamill didn't really have a career. The most he had was a voice acting career. And how many other voice actors did you see getting invitations to the White House? Because at the end of the day, he had one big success, and that was Star Wars. Outside of that, he's had minimal success. Once in a while, he'll pop up in something here and there that will get some praise or notice, but it was never anything major. So he was never a successful actor. He was never like a steady working actor throughout the 80s and 90s. It wasn't until he got into voice work in the 90s that he finally became a steady working actor. And I believe also it was the help of the 20th anniversary of Star Wars that kind of reminded people that he existed again. Like, people forget that. Like, he was playing like the priest in the Village of the Damned remake and shit. Like he was just like, at best, that was like his good roles. And then you brought up his only other one. I remember they were making a big deal out of him coming back as the coming in as the trickster. It was like a big comeback for him, right? He did that. He did the Guyver, but like that's more of a cult hit than anything,
right?
Other than that, name his movies. You can't, because he didn't really have any.
The most difficult role that he had was losing 60 pounds in order to play Luke Skywalker in The Force Awakens.
It was, because from 1983 to 94, I don't think he had a movie role. Anyway, sorry.
I'm sure he's a nice person if you can get this political stuff out of his brain or whatever, but it's
Sleepwalkers. That's what he was in. That's what I was thinking of. Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
He's I have to think that it drives him nuts. Not only does Trump dominate so much of his mind, but the fact that he now has this antagonistic relationship with half of his audience that he has willfully come in and tried to say that they're bad people for voting the wrong way. And he's already has this asterisk of, oh, do you have a career or did you have one role that you've been coasting off of? Or what will you be known for? And it's going to be that thing you did in 1977 with a director who his biggest directions are faster, more intense, please.
Well, the reason I laughed when you said it is because when you said Luke Skywalker instead of Mark Hamill, because I could picture the gravestone now where Mark Hamill, date to this, really small, and underneath that it'll say he played Luke Skywalker in really big letters. Yeah. Because like that'll be, that's why I laughed at that, because like, you're right, because that's the thing he's most well known for and will always be known for.
My favorite thing about this, I think the most delicious thing in this entire ordeal, is that Trump responds to everyone. He responds to Rosie. He responds to Kathy Griffin, the ladies on The View. He responds to Taylor Swift, to George Stephanopoulos, to everyone but Mark Hamill. And Mark Hamill is continuously like, notice me, senpai, notice me. And he just will not give him breath. And I think that drives Mark Hamill more insane than anything, that he thinks he's the leader of the Rebel Alliance against this man. And this man will not acknowledge him in any way, shape, or form.
That tells me that Trump probably did meet him at one point, and Trump probably blew him off.
And that was the end of that. All right, folks.
And
well,
Mark, just couldn't let it go. Yeah, that was the rest of that. Yeah,
it's another day that ends with Y. Mark Hamill is back at it again. He just can't get past the Orange Man. Will he appear in the Mandalorian Grogu? Will it matter? Well, he's definitely involved in the political chatter, and these days that seems all he's up to doing. Well, folks, we've come to the end of another video of pure excellence and fun. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. That's what we hope you believe we've just done. And why should you believe it? Well, because we've done our very best to make it so. To be true, to be factual, and to do what the mainstream so-called access journalists simply won't. Folks, you can help share this out across the fruited plains of YouTube by clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as we get ready to say sayonara for now, we ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep having fun.
Jump into the water. Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.